Hello and welcome to Goa 365's Story Behind the Story. This is we've had an episode last time on PWDs and children with intellectual disabilities and the parents. So this is a continuation of that particular episode that we had. So again, I would like to introduce you to our very distinguished panel and very panel who is facing this on almost a daily basis. I would like to start off with Prakash Bab Kamath, senior journalist. Prakash Bab, welcome to our show. Elizabeth Kurian, towards inclusion everywhere in society. Elizabeth ma'am, welcome to our show. Alex Rodriguez, a parent of a girl with ID. Alex, welcome to our show. And Sandhya Kaloke, the president of the Association of Special Schools in Goa. Sandhya ma'am, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Prakash Bab, I'd like to start off with you. Last time you introduced, so this time in short, generally, and some of the issues that we will probably be discussing in the show.
Thank you, Mr. Glenn. The issue basically is of persons with intellectual disability. If just to articulate on this subject, let me say that according to statistics, world's around 1% population is having intellectual disability. Having said that, it is not all uniform. What is intellectual disability? It is a severe impairment in cognitive and adaptive behavior. These persons or children with disability cannot function like other persons. Their day-to-day life, they are severely or relatively dependent on somebody or other, parents or service giver. So that is the issue, basic. Then there is a category, not all are uniform, as I said. There are a mild, then there is moderate, there is severe and profound. Depends on that. The profound case, that they are completely dependent. When such a situation is there, then what happens to the parents? Parents' concern is now we are there, we are looking after, we are taking care, but beyond us what? That is the issue which continuously haunts them. So that is why we are here, so that we take into confidence other people, because unless society is inclusive, society says this is our issue and we have to help, nothing will move. Unless total society supports, becomes inclusive, pushes government agencies and authorities, nothing will move, because this is a very small, minuscule minority population. That is how sometimes political system looks at it. So that is why we are here to generate this awareness among society, among people, among parents, that things can be worked out if we come together. I have with me people who are parents of such children, and at the same time they are working in this sector day in and day out. I have Elizabeth Kurian. She is an architect. She has a child, son Ashwin, with autism, and she works in that institution. She is a founder and a secretary of institution called TIES. As I said, that organization works for inclusion everywhere in society. Then I have with me Alex Rodriguez from Bangalore, now coming to Goa. He is a parent also of a child with ID, and also works with parents, mobilizes parents to work out spaces for such and other disability people. Then I have with me Sandhya Kaloke. Sandhya's son is having a severe ID disability and is a grown-up child. Concern is more for the parents, and she is in several organizations, including she is in education. First of all, she heads Association of Special Schools, then she is in the Parents Association. All kinds of work she is doing. So let us listen to all these people, so that society comes and says we too care.
Okay, I would like to start off with Sandhya ma'am directly. What you feel now? You've been in this line, as Prakash sir said, that in like education. What do you feel are the main issues that are faced by people with ID?
as per the UN Convention, we have already have so many rights that have been noted down for our disabled. Okay, I won't call them children. They're children, adults, everyone. There are so many of them listed down. Right to this, right to that, right to education, right to everything. The basic four today I'm going to focus on. When we talk about the rights, why did we have to put down the rights in writing? Why do we have to fight for the rights of our children? And I'm talking about the four basic rights that our children or our adults face. One is right to livelihood. Last time I had touched that in spite of the 4%, our children stand no chance in any of the government reservation. Yes, so when we talk about livelihood, there are different types of livelihood that we can have. Some of it is government, some of it is public sector, and some of it is in an closed environment, as I mentioned, sheltered environment, and where they need one-to-one constant attention, constant monitoring. Okay, so livelihood is one. Right to education. When we talk about right to education, yes, we do have many schools. Now they have said inclusive education is mandatory. So most of the regular schools, it is mandatory to take any ID child as well. But when we need different resources for such students, what we have to do is we have to run from pillar to post. I'm not blaming the authority here, because most of them are blank as to what we need, what our requirements are, and why we are faced with so many difficulties. Well, there is a need to know that our students are not like the regular students. They do need constant monitoring, and monitoring in such a way that there could be only 4 in a class, 6 in a class, or 8 in a class with one special educator. The educator is also a special educator who has done a special course. So only such people can handle such children. So when we talk about special education in a classroom situation, why can't we have a special cell in the education department where they can understand what we are talking about, understand our needs and requirements, and then they can be more open to what we are suggesting.
But it's not possible for sorry to interrupt, but it's not possible for many of the children with these disabilities to be part of a classroom, right, where others are there of different. Is it possible?
Unless the child is borderline. As I mentioned last time, 70 is the IQ, which is the borderline, cut-off borderline. Above 70, they say up till 75. Yes, IQ level. So below 70, you cannot have more than, see, if you are in the, as he mentioned, there is a profound, there is a severe category. You cannot have more than 4 in a classroom of this category. If you are mild, then you can have 8 or 10 in a classroom.
Even if like
yes, and if you are in the moderate and you have other physical, because most 50% of our intellectual disabled do have other disabilities.
There are multiple disabilities.
Multiple disabled. Then in such cases you cannot have more than 5 or 6 in a classroom. They could be hyperactive. They could be having hearing problems, visual impairment. There are many other things that these children do face.
So hyperactive, you cannot interact with other people. It's very difficult for hyperactive.
Not like that.
Could be a problem anytime.
Their concentration level or concentration span is very low.
For anything, even if you're watching TV or something on the phone.
Yes, for anything. For anything.
Okay, now sorry ma'am, I'd like to bring Elizabeth ma'am into this. Now this is something we were discussing. This is that basically this type of thing is not there, you feel?
Yeah, when I mentioned that last time.
And you're talking from experience, of course.
So when we started these life skill classrooms in mainstream schools, we started these classrooms with 8. 8 is a number that the government first we didn't have any policy in place. We were the first ones to start.
Does this government have a policy for it?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's
It
the
does.
There is
scheme
a
of
scheme for children with
special
needs.
So we had to write it out pretty much ourselves. And when we started in 2003, there was just nothing. Just we were 8 parents. We started in a classroom, and just like we mentioned, my son and I would never even sit in a place. So there were 1 or 2 of those children who could cope with a certain subject. Certain ones could not cope with anything. And one of those students actually finished BA now. So it's a varied this thing. And each of them had an IEP. Now after they finish
What's an IEP?
Individualized education program, we
Okay.
write it out, and we
Okay,
have
okay.
goals for everything.
Okay.
Gross motor skills, fine motor skill, socialization skill, communication skill. This is a specific set of subjects that we write one goal, and we write out a step in each goal. Even greeting somebody, like go shake your hand, everything is written down. It depends every
Like an
action.
SOP, standard
Yeah,
operating
Because
yeah.
procedure.
You have
each child
steps.
is different.
Yes, and then you review it every 3 months. You see how much can be done, whether you need to change the goal, whether you need to change the way of handling it. So in every single item, from life skills to self-help skills to household chores, everything we write down. Even like changing your pants when you remove it's upside down. I actually wrote out steps of how I would do it. Like put your hand in, bring it out. Put your hand in. Learning what is the back of the shirt. Learning folding clothes. Folding clothes. I taught my son for 4-5 years from a handkerchief to the pant to shorts to complicated clothes, because every clothes are different, every type of cloth is different. So over the years I've taught him that, and now he looks after the laundry of my house. We don't have to do anything. So these are skills that we have taught, and these are achievements which for us are very big achievements. If he is handling the laundry of my house completely, means I have baskets there which he loads the machine. I have a bindi on the machine, which one he has to press. He handles it, everything is dried, it comes folded, and it goes into my cupboards. That much of independence I have taught him. What I am trying to say is, even these little skills can be taught to our children. Can it become vocational? Can it not become a laundry service which he could be part of? These are the things, these are livelihoods.
This is the livelihood
Yeah,
that we are trying
part.
to talk of. But what we are trying to say is, after 16, most of our, even this such difficult, severe children can be taught certain skills. There will be some who may not even be able to teach certain skills, like small beading, jewelry making. All those things can be converted to skills, but we don't have the places to go to now. And these are very severe children in the age of 16 to 22. Most of them go through this puberty issues, and they can't even sit in a place.
Okay, Elizabeth, sorry, I need to go in for a small commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, I would like, Elizabeth was just talking about some of the problems, but I would like to, Alex, I would like to bring you in. Since you've been dealing, plus you've not only been dealing just with you've also been dealing with parents who deal with these disability issues.
So I'm a strong. I mean, I have also a daughter with ID, but I'm a strong believer if you want to bring change in society, the role of parents coming together to understand the problem much more, but to come up with solutions and to draw on the resources that exist, and to push also for the state to become much more accountable in providing that resources. Now, sometimes the state is not aware of what to do and how to do it.
Mostly.
In most cases. And also they need to put the resources into it, and also the larger society. Let's put it this way, I think our children also contribute to the larger society of other children to become much more sensitive. See, if we want to expand our human dimension of understanding, we have been now taught to look at things in a very narrow sense. There are different dimensions that are there. So even to become sensitive, and so there are, for me, basically the core is to see how parents come together And there's need also for parents to change. Sometimes parents are overprotective. Sometimes parents don't bring their own children into public spaces. One, maybe it's because of challenge. Second, maybe because it's taboo. Third, maybe because they feel that the others may not accept, which all are true. But unless you bring into public spaces, make parks inclusive, let them also socialize. And one of the most important things which I want to say, one of course is the rights of these children, but they are human beings. Okay? Unless they get socially accepted by others, they have very large behavioral problems because they also sense of being excluded, neglected, looked down at. These are very important aspects that we all have to learn to deal with. Because I know my own daughter. She can sense immediately who cares for her, who doesn't care for her.
Correct.
Yes.
And she reacts very differently with this thing. I've seen this with other children when we parents bring together.
Absolutely.
They immediately know who cares. In society also, sometimes parents of other children would say, don't go and mix with a child.
Correct.
The natural tendency for children is to mix with every child.
Yeah, they don't have
and we
this
as parents sometimes put a restriction.
As you grow older, the
Yeah.
differences start coming.
And even our whole education system is, we are all trying to go up the rat race and all that thing. Like it looks like a waste of time to go and spend time with it. So I think, this whole society has to change. We have to become much more inclusive and build a much more healthy, dignified society where our children also are part of that. Now, in terms of livelihood, more than livelihood is to get them engaged, where they also feel they have a purpose in life. Otherwise, they will begin to react much more. This happens with all children. So I'm saying, that's my experience. So I've been working in Bangalore with forming parents groups. One, for them to come together to share their emotional traumas and find solutions. And they are discussing various types of solutions. Various groups are coming. We are then bringing them together. And we are also putting pressure on the, the Department of Disability to look at this. And there are cases also which are coming up to the commissioner's level to see how you have to make the society more accountable and also certain types of institution more accountable to this. And there are resources, there is knowledge. I think we need to bring it to Goa. Okay? Many times Goa is limited by the knowledge and experience of it. You have a lot of things happening in the state of Karnataka and Bangalore itself and Chennai and all that thing. And the world is now become one world, no? So we can also bring all these resources and knowledge into this state and make these things happen in this place.
Basically, but what it needs is some systems to be set and but I also agree. I know here a lot of concentration is being put on the child and that parent. But frankly, what I see is I don't believe any one parent can make a difference. It is the parents who have to. I totally agree with you on it. The parents have to get out there because they have the clout, they have the numbers, they have the reach. Now, for example, if there are 1,000 people with ID, there will be 2,000 parents.
Correct.
There will be 4,000 grandfathers, uncles, all
taken
that.
together.
So then it makes a. And second thing, I would like just see. Our education system, you spoke about the rat race. Our education system is made on competition, which is something that I could not handle when I was young. Competition, it doesn't take you anywhere. Basically, it just makes robots. You are there, and then you become like X, you become X, Y, Z, whatever. But it just squeezes the life out of the person. I'm not talking about anybody with I'm talking about normal people, and then but they burn out. Like I know so many guys who at high levels, today they are baking burgers in Benali or Kolkata from CEOs and all that. Yeah, Prakash.
Glenn Bob, there is one more dimension in this. Now I work with National Association of Blind, which has a residential facility at Santa Cruz near Panaji. There are around 27 to 30 kids, right from primary to graduation. They are together from various segments of society. Some have parents who are, say, well off. Some have parents who are from marginalized. Residential.
Okay.
They go to their colleges, their schools, regular schools, means not regular schools they go, inclusive schools they go, inclusive college they go. In the evening, teachers from NAP take their studies, support, supplementing studies.
Professionals.
That is how it happens.
Professionals.
Yeah. Here also something like that needs to be done. But what happens is, parents, when I say, there is a diversity even income and societal status wise. There is a vast area where parents from elite class, economically well-off class, and there are parents of middle class, middle income groups, marginalized. So getting them all together
On
when
one
we
platform
think it is
is
not
tough.
that easy.
Correct.
So we have to work, as she says, needs of the children. Categorize needs of
No, no,
children
but I'm
and try
not
and work something.
I'm not saying that needs of the children, but I'm saying needs of the children can be served if parents come together
Yeah, yeah.
and put in their effort.
No, no.
That has to be brought
Yeah.
back. Don't you say?
Yeah.
I know what he's saying is true. Also, parents have to realize.
Yes, my
that,
responsibility is with
the
parents.
child
The
is
parents are not
important
going to be
and
there
it
all the
doesn't make a
always.
difference
They'll
from
go.
which background they come. And
This
people who got resources
sensitization needs
should
to be
support
done.
it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
because besides the money resource, there's also
Yeah.
talent resources within the community itself of parents. They have to bring that together to see that all children, irrespective of which economic background they come, because they are our children. You have to cater to all children. Society has divided people into caste, class, and things like that.
Lots of
but for children,
religion
it doesn't
and
make a
everything.
difference. My child will not make a decision who's rich, who's poor, nothing of that.
Rich,
They won't
poor
make a
is
difference
different.
unless
No,
the parents
but-
tell them.
but I will-
Parents
No,
don't.
no, children will not make unless the parent. No, you
Yeah.
cannot roam with it. You
Yeah.
cannot do this. You can't.
No,
do
but-
this. I'll
So
bring
there
it
are,
in,
there
Sunday
are many
morning.
parents who will say, my child cannot sleep without an AC.
Ah.
Now, that is so common when we speak about
Why not?
residential center.
Why don't you sponsor 2-3 ACs for everybody?
Yeah.
You're done.
Done. You provide the same.
Yeah, why not?
That
What
thought
problem?
has to be there.
That has
No, no,
to be.
that
That
somebody
has to
has,
be.
see, wait.
Yeah.
What I have found is these type of thoughts are never there.
Correct.
They have to be put in somebody's head.
Naturally.
Yeah.
We also have to change. Parents also have to change.
Correct.
Can
will
I-
change.
can
They will
I
change because
interrupt?
they will-
Please.
Yeah, I wanted
because
to-
you're in education specifically, yes.
Forget about this. He says that parents have to be
They have to
brought
be,
to,
yes.
yes. So in challenge we have thought about a solution that we will have small parents group in every taluka, every village, and maybe make them into a basket from maybe Bicholim, a basket of parents from maybe Penne, maybe different places,
Wherever, yeah.
and then they will come out with their issues, and then we can put our issues in front of the government. But here, when we talk
I
about,
differ about it, yes, slightly. But anyway, go on. Yeah.
when we talk, we come under the social welfare as
Nodal agency.
our sector, disability sector comes under the social welfare department. So even in the social welfare department, what we have realized as a parent, as a senior parent, I know how many times I've gone and knocked the doors. What I've realized is that they are running short of hands there, first of all, because they are put in different places. One person is handling so many jobs. Second thing is, we do not have expert faculty over there who understand our issues.
Faculty in the department.
Yes.
Expert, you mean officers? Faculty. mostly-
Yeah.
Anybody,
schools.
somebody, we need a special cell where who will understand what is the meaning of disability and what are the issues we face and how it can, go about it. Why do not we have that?
No, there is a special cell, but it is not working to the
functional.
effect.
I was
So
about to
that
say
is why
that,
commissioner is working on having a department. He is insisting. He is putting
Yes,
a proposal.
we
Special
had
department.
Because
special-
automatically you get so much of funds.
Yes.
Special
It's a separate
Schools
department.
Association had written 3 times to the Honorable CM that we need a special cell for the disabled separately.
And the
So,
Again, you are
influences-
coming to that. Cell is there. It is not effectively functioning because they can't. Because as you said, department has senior citizens, X, Y, Z functions. So we need a special department. Many, like Maharashtra, now they have already got, Chief Minister said, there is a special department. We should work for a special department. I remember Parikar told us that you have numbers according to census 2011, we had 33,000
33,000.
disability total.
Total.
So
Total. Out of which
Parikar said we will
4,000
give you cell, and he gave us cell. Now it is not. We have to work for a
Special
department.
Now we need special educators in in those places also actually to handle our children. But will we get teachers there?
Most probably
We will
won't
not get. We will
But
have
they're
to
not
train.
available.
Yeah,
No,
we'll
they're
have-
not available.
Yeah.
They are available, but in the sense there are
In Goa, they're not
government is
available.
not government
No,
doesn't
I
have
will,
the
I will
money
intervene.
to
First of all,
transpose.
before I forget, I think takeaway from these two sessions must be, as you said, a collective of parents or some group.
Only parents,
That is very
not
important.
children, only
Now
parents.
coming to what you are saying. Central Empowerment Ministry in its last meeting in September last has told directives to all states, tie up with CII, chambers and all these bodies for skill development, produce your state plan and send it to us.
Yes.
Goa has yet not done it.
Why?
For skill development of persons.
No, why?
Why it is not done? Because there is no pressure.
Correct. Go and sit outside the chief minister's office, house. 10 of
No,
your,
we
15
should-
of your,
we
20
should-
of
we should
I'm
be
just
doing
giving
it,
you an
yeah.
example. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
See, pressure is built. You see how these taxi drivers, though, how them extort us, how they are being.
Our state plan is not good.
Yeah,
I'm
why they are
telling
not
you.
taking? Why Uber is not coming? Only Goa. Pressure, no. We need, see, you cannot do things without teams. You cannot do things without people. Whatever your difficulties, they will remain there like that only if you guys don't get together. I'm really sorry to say that. Alex, I think you need to support me on this.
On your TV, I would like to also appeal to all
Yes.
parents, you know,
Okay.
that if you want to have change in society and for your own interest of your children, we must come together. As said, that we must form small groups in different
That's a
areas.
very good initiative.
And then we'll have some
Collective.
sort of collective or federation and put our demands before the
Correct.
government.
Yeah,
And-
I
and
had
follow up
to
with
do
it.
that, because
You have to. That's the only way I
because people cannot travel from Benauli or somewhere else and
Yes.
come
Yeah.
to
And you can
Bangalore
have
every
once a
time.
year, once in 6 months. you can have one
Yes.
huge
So we
mela.
said we'll have from each NGO
Very
or
good.
each school together one
Yeah, I'm
group.
sorry, I have run out of time. I'm sorry. We will continue this discussion. The next time I'm getting very dirty looks from. Thanks, Prakash Bab. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Elizabeth. Thanks, Sanjay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think we need to follow this up. We will follow this up. But as I am very clear on this, if there is no unity among the parents, there are no teams formed, I don't know how far. It will be individuals biting a battle against. That's almost impossible to even survive, forget it. Thank you again. Thank you. And keep watching Goa 365.